titillate the juices. You know what? Woo! Right now. Woo! Whoa! Woo! Woo!
Dr. Hughes invites followers. Oh, let's see if they increase now. Me too. Yeah, wow. Dr. Hughes.
Mock-ass mock.
He's a great podcaster.
Trick-ass mock.
Acknowledge me.
We coming for you, nigga. Fat!
Yeah, Dr. Hughes, here we go. Keep plugging yourself, that's cool.
You fucking mark!
First up, a man whose looks will serve your inner needs and desires.
Dr. Hughes.
Welcome back, everybody. Dr. Huge is here with the sleaze, with Danny Damage. It's a Tuesday night, New Year's Eve, big night for everybody. Everybody be careful out there with all the amateurs, roaming around, never touching a grape juice like Dr. Huge over here. So watch out, because I'm not going anywhere. I'm staying in. I'm going to be safe, and I'm going to talk about wrestling for the New Year's with all my boys. The NWO of the podcasting universe, or the PWO. I think this is backwards, though. So welcome, guys. Thank you for joining me again. Everybody out there, get following and subscribing. Share this all over the interwebs. Everybody must join the chat in the discussions. We have videos. We have things to discuss. It's all very important. Happy New Year to you. Sasha Reigns in the house. You just need a Sasha Reigns account here. You're like these wrestlers out here, Heather, with your real names. I hate real names. Sasha Reigns is that's your name, and just like the sleaze is his real name.
That's my real name, my birth
And
name.
Damage, same thing.
Mhm.
Of course, I'm an expert analyst, and I am
I just noticed that.
Huge Einstein. How come nobody online can say Dr. HUGENSTEIN? They say everything else. Dr. HUGENSTEIN, Dr. Hug. What?
Why is it Dr. Hug? I never got that. It's spelled huge. What the fuck?
I even try to mess with I make like the huge in caps and the N small and a big S for like a whole new word, right? And people still go, nope, Dr. HUGENSTEIN. Well, they say it a million times. I see it on all the chats on YouTube and stuff that I partake in, but maybe they're pretty stupid chats. So
Yeah, stupid people and stupid chats.
it's like,
So.
you haven't heard of Frankenstein before? Really? Same thing. But anyway, we got
Crazy.
this Punk deal going on with CM Punk and Rollins. Seth Rollins, he pointed out many things. CM Punk, overall, I give the win to Seth Rollins. He spoke last, so in my world, he ended up winning. But what are your thoughts, guys, on that epic promo, like a once-in-a-lifetime promo that we got last night?
Like I said on Saturday, it's enjoyable because you can't tell where they're sort of just playing around and if they're being serious, and that's fun. A lot of what they said, they had legitimate points to a lot of their arguments. But yeah, it's enjoyable because it could go either way, like I said, and then just like that backstage sort of aspect of whether or not they mean what they say. So yeah, I liked it. It's good.
Yeah, it was very good. It's one of the best promos I've seen in ages between both of them. You can't. To me, there wasn't a clear winner because they were both so hot on everything they said. There was so much passion. There was so much truth, and like Danny said, you couldn't tell if it was real or not. Like shoot or work. It was fantastic.
What I really liked about it, I'm going to dissect this. We're going to go through this like a fine-tooth comb because this went on for like 5 minutes. It was not a short little deal. It's really leading up. This was the go home to next week's January 6th Netflix Raw, and they really needed to pump this up, and they did. But I thought it was funny because the crowd groaned, did it was like a rap battle. And when Seth Rollins, he made the remark about the man where's she been? And of course, she's off being a mom. And then Seth Rollins is like, oh, you don't have any kids. And the crowd was like, holy shit. Blew their minds. And to me, I'm like, was it really a burn though? Because I love not having kids. That's the fucking best thing in the world, in my opinion. But I guess to people that have kids, I think it's a burn. I don't know. Can anybody explain this to me? That's all I'm saying, because I think kids are stupid. And I have an example for this, by the way. I'm not just saying they're stupid. Did you see a video with Eric Rowan? He's like, this means so much to me. And I was a stupid kid too. I'm just saying. But all these kids are stupid. Every single one of them. So he's like, this is very special. Can you wear this sheet mask? And the kid was like, nope, I'm not wearing it. And then he puts the mask on him and they're trying to show him off to the crowd. And he turns his head away from the mask.
Yeah, stupid.
Example A right there. Exhibit A. Why you shouldn't have kids.
Well, I mean, that's true. Like, kids are really stupid up until a certain point when they get some kind of sense in their head.
Yeah. Yep.
So it's a fact. It's not an opinion.
So I don't think that's a burn, Seth Rollins. Nice try. Just because, why? Because you just had a kid 2 years ago. So what, were you a stupid idiot before that? Right?
He's maybe counting on the fact there's possibly the tiniest little smidge of regret in there, because you never know. Some people will think they don't want them forever, and then once they get to a certain age, they might change their mind. And because of how much Punk apparently likes to take people under his wing and to be a leader, that does translate to being a father. So maybe people that know him have seen him and thought he maybe would like to be one, but yeah, there's a chance it'll hit and there's a chance that it'll miss. So.
Well, he was basically saying that Seth was his bastard son, if you really looked into it. So he does have a kid. He's just a bastard.
Seth Rollins. I mean, come on, man. At least change your outfits. I was hoping when he came back from this last hiatus, if you want to call it that he was going to come back and not be so Zoolander-ish. So maximum male model, like you it's hard to take you serious when you do look as ridiculous as you do. I get it. That's like your wife's thing too. And maybe you're all sharing clothes and doing the whole thing backstage, but it's played out. Let's get back to burning things down or something more metal and heavy. You understand?
Yeah, but the crowd loves it so much. So it's not going anywhere anytime soon.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Sadly, yeah. If they get a sing-along, that's it. Christ, that Goldust and R-Truth thing stuck around for a while because of the sing-along. And that was horrendous with the little head on the screen.
Yeah. Are we following along with this? Seth Rollins is corporate now, and CM Punk is like the rebel?
No. But, well, yeah, one maybe a bit more than the other, but...
I think he was trying to equate him to like a company guy like John Cena, because they used to call him a company guy too. So,
yeah,
that was a reach.
Well, I think it was getting at being a Vince guy without saying Vince McMahon.
Yeah,
he just said like the previous guy that was here, let you off or loved you or whatever. Oh, that's very nice. That is a cool shirt. But yeah, I think it was a Vince thing, whereas Punk obviously wasn't a Vince guy. Rollins very much was.
Yeah, because there were like 3 times that I counted that they referred to something but didn't say names, like Colt Cabana's podcast, AEW, Vince McMahon.
Yep. Tony Khan was brought up, I mean, indirectly during this promo with Seth and CM Punk. And apparently he likes Seth freaking Rollins. That's news to me. I didn't know he loved him. And I believe everything CM Punk says, so it's fact.
Yeah, fact. Well, I thought he was more of a Trips guy,
Seth got the line out though, didn't he? The AEW line about Punk being cancer. So they'll all love him there now. But he said our thing,
yeah. That was kind of weak though. It's so played out. The cancer bits, It's like we get it.
The way that they need to play this off now, because there's so many reports coming out saying CM Punk has been really good and he's supportive and he's great backstage. they really need to change the story a little bit to promote the fact that with Seth Rollins saying, "Oh, you're a cancer" and everything else, nobody else is thinking this at this point besides Seth Rollins. So it needs to be like a story where he's like an obsession to Seth Rollins now.
Right now, it's the opposite. Like Seth Rollins has more hate for CM Punk. CM Punk just kind of wants this to go away. It feels like.
Yeah.
So that's like, but it could turn. You never know.
No, but that's what I'm saying. It should be like Seth Rollins is obsessed with CM Punk. You know what I mean? Where nobody else is thinking this, and CM Punk just wants this to go away, and Seth Rollins is obsessed with him.
Yeah. How's your knees, Seth Rollins? Seth freaking Crawlins. I've been calling him that for years. I did like that about. I'm starting to turn because I thought Seth Rollins won this whole promo battle, but now the more I'm like delving into this with everybody, maybe everybody that was saying no, Dr. Huge last night, you're wrong. CM Punk won this. I don't know. Seth Rollins has been pretty damn good on the mic since 2015. He quite literally, everybody, this is pretty powerful what I'm about to say, brought me back into pro wrestling single-handedly. If it wasn't for scumbag Seth Rollins in 2015, where everybody was hurt that year, there was kind of a down year in general. I don't know. It was a decade ago. Who knows? Maybe it wasn't. But Seth friggin' carried that fucking WWE the entire year. He came out first every night. He did long-ass promos. Yeah, was he the corporate guy even in the story way? He in both ways. So yeah, I totally believe that he is like the corporate guy, but I'm still Seth Rollins for life, brother. Definitely over this other guy who can never stay healthy. He's not even trying to be a Rollins. He just leaves for months on end. And then he's going to come back with all that dyed hair and shit, and I'm just going to buy it. No, thank you. Seth Rollins, the GOAT for life over here, people. Totally biased.
No, it's true. When we started this in 2015, I think it was on a lull, and there were few bright little spots like the Shield and what came out of it and everything else. So yeah, I mean, Seth Rollins was one of the top guys in my eyes too.
Yep. Then you know who came along and just took all the limelight and everything? Not even the tribal chief. We'll speak on him later. But this guy.
Yeah.
Totally stole the spotlight, beat Seth Rollins 3 times, and then Seth Rollins got cuckolded into helping the guy that just beat him 3 times to get over on the bloodline. Good job, Cody. And now you're working with the bloodline. I'm kind of with Seth and all the rest of those guys that hate you, like McIntyre.
What do we want to talk about?
Because I'm smart and I get it. I actually pay attention to this. So you're the bad guy, by the way. You're the bad guy. And Kevin Owens. He's still bad.
Isn't Kevin Owens the favorite corporate chosen one now? Because that match between Rollins and Owens had Triple H handing Owens the belt.
Mm-hmm.
Or did something else? Did I miss something else after that?
Well, they also stripped it from him with Goldberg. There was that.
Oh, yeah.
They did take the belt right back in this. They gave him the belt in the silliest fashion, and they took it right back. Right, Coach? Rollins won the mic war. Yep. He did. He edged it out, I believe. And it's because he was given the last word. There's still things to talk about this. I mean, like I said, we're going through this, folks. This was a long promo. There was a lot of little spots in here that need to be mentioned. The knees, the necks, all that he mentioned about Rollins, sure. But that's also very ironic. Once again, this CM Punk is always injured. He fights in the UFC like a tough guy, comes in the WWE and AEW, and, is Glass Joe from Mike Tyson's Punch-Out.
No, apparently there was a lot of arrows, which I never read about. There was a lot of arrows being shot. I don't know if they were drive-bys or I don't know what that was.
Good story, made sense with what he was trying to convey, but also seemed super cheesy and placed in there, right?
Yeah.
Like, then you're like, it takes me out of it anyway, as a genius analyst expert of this stuff. And I instantly go, oh, that's right. This is now we're in story mode. And, this is his CM Punk's propaganda that he's going to try to push on the kids. and they're going to totally buy it, right? Which many of them did.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, Seth Rollins is right, even though he's super corporate and a bootlicker.
Yeah, they love that bootlicking shit, right? Everyone's licking boots over there. Don't know why. It's fucked up.
All that Tony Khan and Triple H, Nick Khan money. Let's just call it cons and cons. Let's take Triple H is just like, we'll call him the creative guy. It's all con on con violence going out there in the business.
The creative Khan and the cocaine Khan.
Wow. Yes.
They're just
Oh,
Yeah, the
God.
CK and the CK.
Yep.
Yeah, we can promote that for years to come.
A t-shirt. There's a t-shirt coming.
So CM Punk said he did love AEW. He didn't mention AEW, but he did love that place. But he just didn't like Cocaine Con, as he's now called around here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cocaine Con. Hashtag Cocaine Con.
Very close to King Kong, you know?
Yeah.
But all right.
Just a lot more coke.
Oh, have you seen this, Danny? I don't watch out. Don't be too scared.
Watch out.
Freddy vs. Jason coming to a theater near you, everybody.
Yeah.
We're not going to be forgetting about this anytime soon because they're out there.
Well, that's funny because I've forgotten about Edge again.
We're making him relevant again.
Yep.
Good luck.
All the
It's the Alter Bridge pop. That's what people go for every time they bring him back. Just that you think you know me, dun 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 at the Royal Rumble, and it's like woo, and then it stops, and then he's in the ring and he's wrestling, and people are like, oh, yeah, I'm not enjoying this part as much. They just love his intro. They just love to pop for it, and that's that. And they're all scratching their heads in AEW like, why isn't Edge working? It's like because people weren't going mental over him completely like you think he is. It's just Royal Rumble. Here's his music. The program to react in that way, and then his matches go on. And the South Park episode, you've referenced it loads before, but Edge is just Edge trying to put his promos over, and it's just so painful to me. And yeah, I'm not surprised.
You're more of a Christian guy.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
yeah. Not just because I'm like pro-Christian, but just because I've never really enjoyed Edge. I've never enjoyed his work, to be honest. He's just got goofy faces, fake tough guy sort of vibes because of the goofy faces, and yeah.
Well, he was also big in a time where the business for WWE was not that great, and they didn't have a lot of good talent. Not saying they didn't have talent; they had the John Cena's and Batistas and stuff like that, but it wasn't a deep roster.
He was
So
technically
somebody that
an
was like
attitude guy, though. Like when he first showed up.
Yeah, but
And that's why I couldn't trust him in the mid 2000s as a when he started getting titles and title shots.
Yeah.
I wasn't really watching. You know, the Miz time when he really blew up. What else was going on? CM Punk's rise. I kind of didn't see a lot of that until, you know, I would see stuff here and there. But when Seth Rollins came back, that was really my turning point. But Edge always felt, it was like weird, like seeing JBL when I tuned in one night randomly to wrestling. And I'm like, that's John Bradshaw Layfield? Like the whole name. I'm like, wait a second, what? Yeah. He looks like he's doing the whole George Bush thing and the money. I'm like, wow, like, and it put me off because I was so used to one thing that it was a shock to me. I was like, I can't believe this. He's a top guy now, you know? So because I didn't follow along, but
the reason is that they didn't have a deep roster, and they had people like JBL and Edge that were probably, I hate to say it, especially about JBL, but they're mid-carders at best. But they didn't have any options to put people, you know, at the top rankings. That's why I never got into Edge, because I'm like, he is not a main event person. Like, he was good with Christian. They were great. Yeah. One of the greatest tag teams of all time. They together were great. Him by himself, like Danny said, with his goofy freaking faces and his dumb, like, over-the-top fucking promos, It was not my shit.
Do you guys kind of agree, or is it just me that between like 2006 to like 2013, 2012, that wrestling was almost like it was so PG and I think newly PG that I just kind of discarded it for the most part. I would check in here and there, but there's a huge gap where I just didn't watch any of that shit.
Yeah. When Cena was just plowing through everybody.
It's that too. Yep.
Yeah, that just it got a bit tedious after a while. Just Super Cena, you could drift in and out very easily, just catch the odd pay-per-view or just watch, I don't know, just watch something like Botchamania online and just be like, yeah, I've caught up now. I've seen who John Cena destroyed this month.
Yeah. And it was usually Randy Orton or vice versa. Like they fought each other in pay-per-views like 1,000 times in the 2000s. So
and it was the same storyline over and over. It wasn't anything different. It was just two guys, just, I'm better than you. No, you're not. And they went into a pay-per-view. They had the same exact match. And then Cena won and repeat.
Wow. Stinks. It was the shits. That era to me. And of course, I can't really say it was the shits because I didn't watch it, except for a few things like the ECW pay-per-view. I went out of my way to see that and a few other things, but I pretty much stayed away from it until even the Shield stuff. That wasn't bringing me back in, because Roman Reigns, he's still, when you think about it, Roman Reigns is still kind of dull, isn't he?
Yeah.
What does he do? What does he say?
Nothing. It's his presence. He's a good model.
Right. He is a great wrestling model. But then when they put him up against guys that are equal or bigger size, it like takes it all away from me anyway. Yeah. I'm like, wow, he's really smaller than this other dude. And there's a few of these guys that are in here that you think in your mind Roman Reigns is physically bigger than them, but he isn't. When you actually see him in the ring next to each other, you're like, oh yeah, the other guy's actually bigger.
Yeah. Yeah. He's not a tremendously big guy. He's not like a 6'6" Rock or, any of the bigger guys. Even Randy Orton's twice the size of him.
And that's a question I had for you guys and the whole crowd tonight, because I've been thinking about this subconsciously lately, and I just pulled it out earlier when I'm taking some notes to talk about things. But what is going on with modern wrestling where they can't match? There's nobody that matches The Rock from back in the day. There's nobody that matches Mankind, HBK, Bret Hart. The list literally goes on and on. Stone Cold, who's matching? Is Seth Rollins. I'm a huge fan, of course, like I've said, but he's not in that class in my mind for some reason. They were so much bigger back then, and even now, if they were here in and around wrestling now as younger people, they would be just as big. I don't see how they wouldn't be. Especially with the nutty stuff that they would do back then compared to now. So they'll do anything you ask them to do. They can. Is it because that they really came up as like that old school independent worker compared to this day and age where they're like video game playing and internet buddies, and that must be it. It's just too. We all understand that it's a performance at this point, even the little kids. That
it's a different beast. I think that is the main thing. Everybody knows it's performative. It's a work. So no one really sees that apart from kids. Kids sort of like still look at wrestlers and be like, oh wow, that guy's really doing this. But yeah, most of us now are just we know too much. We've seen behind the curtain too much. I think we can't unsee that.
But like, I wasn't like a little kid during the Attitude Era, and I would go to some of these shows and think I never believed that they were really trying to like Mankind is a real guy, in any one of his forms. But it was still their characters. Maybe it's a character thing too, because like I said, Seth Rollins is just dresses funny. Like that's not a character. Roman Reigns doesn't. He's got the tribal chief thing, and it's almost like they take people and they build an image and a whole thing around them, where the other guys were the other guys, and they brought it with them. to places.
I think it's the comeuppance. You know what I mean? It's like I think of people like Roddy Piper, who came up. He lived in the streets. He robbed people. He was a tough guy, like the Road Warriors. Same thing. They both grew up on the streets. They were bouncers. Like they got into this in a rugged setting, in a dark fucking gym, and it's just different now. Where you got guys playing college football and then going to the performance center and just doing athletic shit. So I think the mindset and the whole coming up part of it is absolutely different now, where you're not, you know, wrestling in front of 10 people at a bar that's, you know, filled with cigarettes and people have knives and guns and shit. Where it's like it makes you a tough guy. I think they're not like tough guys like the old generation used to be, you know, but as they were coming up. That's the only thing I can think of.
Yeah, because it worked into it. Like even Triple H, that's not like a gimmick in itself. It's a character that he built because he was Triple H, right?
Right.
And like I said, there's a few of those guys, I guess you could say, like the Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns, or whatever, but they've had so much help doing it. I feel in contrast to Stone Cold going home one night and figuring out his whole name, his whole persona, and then making it believable for everybody for years until he became like a good guy and just fucked it all up. You know, that was the worst.
Yeah.
I think you brought that up before, Danny, right? Stone Cold becoming or was it somebody else? Maybe it was Hansy. But yeah, that just cringe. Talk about cringe.
Yeah, with like Stone Cold and The Rock and Foley and that, I think with them, yeah, sure they had influences, but I don't think they made their influences like the biggest part of their personalities. Like you get a lot of people nowadays that it's like, so tell me about yourself and your wrestling style, and it's like, well, I'm a real big fan of Eddie Guerrero, and it's like, well, everyone just check that one off. And so I think a lot of people sort of like direction and approach is like quite similar. Because, like Sleaze said, everyone's coming through the the majority of people coming through the training center, their experience is quite similar. They're not going to bars, they're not having to defend themselves. Some of them have probably like never been in real fights before, or even like sparring, proper sparring contests with like just friends, let alone got a competition. So it would be a foreign experience for them, you know, like Shawn Michaels going and playing with a lot of army guys that time.
That's right. Got beat up by some Marines, right? Hey,
yeah, I knew it was. Sorry, I knew it was uniforms of some description. I couldn't remember if it was Marines or Navy or what.
Shawn Michaels. That's what happens when you block Dr. Huge. Marines beat you up.
But yeah, I mean, you know, all in all, I think that's what it is. It's just, I think if you were to take, you know, a guy nowadays, and if you're a decently built guy that has fought in the streets and shit, and you start a fight with one of these guys, you might beat the shit out of him. Where back in the day, if you fought like Roddy Piper in a bar, he's gonna destroy you. Yeah, like they're legitimate tough guys.
Try to pop your eyeball out and stuff. They all do.
Yeah.
All them old timers. That's why Danny wears glasses too, by the way.
Yeah.
And
his
eyeballs, cauliflower ears.
Kevin Nash popped out one, and I think Scott Hall popped out the other one night. Bar fighting.
Yeah.
Listen, you're not a real man unless you get in a fight at a bar every week, at least.
At least.
Yep. And I take people at the bar, and I fucking Samoan spike them after they get a, you know, they'll be like, "Hey, you're Dr. Huge, right?" And I'm like, "Fuck off!" And I stick my thumb right into their neck, and they're like choking on the ground.
I've seen it. It's fucking dangerous.
Happens every time. Every weekend it happens.
Yeah.
Then I get handcuffed and I start screaming like Stone Cold all the way to jail. Every weekend. There's one more thing about this Punk Rollins thing. The most ridiculous thing somebody said in this whole promo was CM Punk when he said, and you heard it here, folks, everybody, true analyst, expert journalist, I told you, CM Punk's the one that broke Bronson Reed's ankles. And the reason why he did this is because he's old and he's slow, and he couldn't pull Roman Reigns off the table fast enough for them to do their gimmick, So fucking the 480,000-pound man, Bronson Reed, jumped off. He tilted backwards because he was about to hit Roman Reigns because CM Punk is really slow. And then he cracked his ankles, shattered one of them. And then CM Punk goes live on TV and says, that was a fact. I did that. So congratulations to me. That's how he broke his ankles. Indirectly, by the way. What a weasel to go and he's going to gloat about that to Seth Rollins. Was he going to not pull somebody away from Seth Rollins splashing on them at the next match? And hopefully Seth Rollins breaks his ankles and he'll take credit for it. You're an idiot, CM Punk. So.
Yeah, that part was terrible. I scratched my head when I fucking heard that. I'm like, how in the hell did you break his ankle when he jumped off the cage onto his ankle?
But he did indirectly. He knows it backstage. Probably said, I'm sorry, brother. I'm sorry. I just ruined your whole year. Had one of the greatest pushes in the past decade. But yep, I took it away from you because I was slow and I didn't realize I needed to take Roman Reigns off the table before you splashed him with your 50,000 million pound body.
He's big. He's a big guy.
That's all I'm saying. I love you, Bronson Reed, but you know. You understand. Yep. So CM Punk, shout out to you. Good job again. All right, shut up, everybody. All right. There was some other things that happened. Sheamus came back. Broken rib, came back immediately. Went and whipped up on that Ludwig Kaiser guy. They're starting to give him a push. Everybody thought that he was going to come out last night and go, I'm here to talk about Gunther, but he wasn't. He was there to talk about himself. And then Sheamus came in and interrupted with brand new WWE Lab ribs from Alabama or wherever they send him. And he's ready to kill him. Do you guys care about this? I mean, I do. I like Sheamus, and they're always banger matches. But I guess it's the best position Ludwig Kaiser can have at the moment, you know, because he's still on a push. It's not like one of these rocket to the moon pushes with Bronson Reed over here before CM Punk stole it from him. But it's a pretty good one. So
yeah, a good win against Sheamus, all doing well. So yeah,
yep.
Steam on a bit, a good match.
Yep,
I think.
Yeah, and I like them both.
Say what?
Sorry.
I said I like them both, so it's going to be an interesting little feud if they sit there and continue it. And I love me some Sheamus, so
yeah, just puts on bangers. That's all he does.
That's all he does.
Banger machine
on your chest.
Gable and Otis.
I enjoyed this. Yeah,
yeah. I think it's a great storyline for it being pretty much the lowest you can be on the card, I would assume, and you know, having comedy elements and this and that. But yeah, they're giving everything more of a storyline. They've been doing this for months now, just like the final testicle going up against the Wyatt Six. That's something we can talk about in a minute if we want. But with Otis and Chad Gable, like people are looking for more with Chad's team, the American Made and Wyatt Six and all these other groups. There's only so much time. That's why SmackDown's probably going back to 3 hours. But this whole interaction between these teams, the Alpha Babes now, is amazing.
Yeah, they kept the comedy down to an absolute minimum during this match, which is why I just had no problem with it. Both the styles, they work really well together. Otis has obviously wrestled as well, like legitimately, so he knows where he's meant to be going, just even though he's a huge guy. And yeah, I really enjoyed this.
Yeah,
it was good. I just wish that Chad Gable would get into like the IC or US title scene, whatever fucking belt he's with. He's a talented guy, and I wish they would bring back Kurt Angle to like be his fucking mouthpiece. Be fantastic.
Yes. Kurt Angle, another all-time legend, all-time great in wrestling that you know, people forget because he got beat by Baron Corbin and then all that stuff.
Yeah.
It's terrible. It's
He had
terrible.
an illegitimate child on the roster as well, remember, who happened to be Chad Gable's tag team partner. Why they didn't say it was Chad Gable was beyond me, because that would have just... that was perfect, but...
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, Vince.
Thanks, Vince.
Another great Vince idea. But Jay Uso got snuck by Drew McIntyre. He's getting all of them. He didn't really take care of Jay because he was walking around backstage later in the night. Adam Pearce came up to him and said, "Hey, you now have a match against Drew McIntyre, January 6th at the Capitol. I mean, on Netflix." So that's happening. I mean, you know me and my yeeting. I love my Yeet t-shirt and everything. I'll probably get some Yeet glasses, but that's all fast. That's just to be fashionable. I'm not necessarily a Jey Uso fan. You know, I'm not buying into this just because they're going to keep showing me it. Unlike all you other 8-year-olds out here, because you're so stupid. Right? You don't get, I'm more of a Samoan werewolf. But
stupid kids.
But yeah, I'm actually looking forward to this because they are giving Jey Uso a huge push. Drew McIntyre is gonna have to come back and get some wins this year. He was the loser heel this whole past year, and he's bigger than everybody. He talks better than everybody. So how make that make sense? I think that's over with.
Yeah, Drew McIntyre to me, like it's been online, especially on X and stuff. He is really the MVP this year. Like he's just been so good at everything he's done. He's been great.
I don't know if you guys seen it. Let me see if I can pull this up real quick. We'll watch a little video from Drew McIntyre. So he ends up watching this Netflix promo deal that they had going on, showing off all their wrestlers and their talent. They had main event Jey Uso on there and everything, but not him. One moment, here it comes. There he is.
Oh boy. Yeah.
Talk to us. All right, so he's watching it. I'll skip ahead here. Agreeing with some people.
That it? Not you too, Netflix. Alright, it's cool. It's all good now, maybe. I don't look enough like a superstar. Maybe my 2024 just wasn't successful enough.
Shows
Maybe you should stop wearing that turtleneck.
It's all good. You don't have to hand me anything. What I want, I'll take. I'll shred everybody on social and they'll cry about it. They'll whine on the mic and I'll crush them there. And then inevitably they'll try and fight me. But I'm 6'5", 280. I'll crush them there too. So I guess we'll have to step up in 2025. That's exactly what we'll do. So till then, Happy New Year, everybody.
Yep. Nobody wants to fight a man that has D cups.
Yeah.
Or muscly D cups, basically.
Well, that's why I giggled in the beginning, because he looks really fat in this.
Yeah, the angle was strange. Yeah.
Yep.
A little bloated.
Yep. Maybe he just had Thanksgiving dinner or something. Popping off a few belts there, and he's got the sword behind him. That sword that he chopped up many people with in WWE.
Yeah.
Murdered them in the ring. Fact.
Homicide. Yeah.
In front of all the parents and their kids.
Drew's accent.
The kids don't care because they're stupid.
Yeah.
Do either of you guys think Drew's accent has got clearer? I'm used to Scottish accents more than.
Really? Let's see. Yeah. I can't tell, but let me just hear a little tidbit.
It's all good. You don't have to hand me anything. What I want, I'll take.
Yeah, that doesn't sound very Scottish to me at all.
It sounds a lot just like cleaner. It's still got a Scottish accent to it, but if you listen to him from a few years ago, I think his accent was just a bit thicker. And that's the only thing I can think why they bloody hold him back. Because I know Vince had a thing with accents, and Vince loved Drew at one point, and then all of a sudden he didn't. And I just thought maybe it was the accent that bothered Vince, but Vince isn't around, and I think Drew's accent sort of like is a bit more easy to understand. to non-Brits.
Yep, I can't stop staring at his bosom there.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's so fat, right, everybody?
He's very relaxed because he took his bra off for this. Just letting him fly.
Hey, that's Steiner saying it. You know, he's a workout guru. Biggest arms in the world. 24-inch pythons and things. Yep. So that happened. And I believe him because, I mean, he did have the whole list of credits of 2024 being the best at everything. And they still don't show him any. They're not treating him as if there's top guys, right? And then there's top guys. You understand? And I'm not talking FTR. They're not top guys or top guys in my world.
Not anymore. not even close. Not anymore.
But Drew McIntyre should be top guy, I would assume, at this point. I mean, he's been around for a while. He's clearly, like he says, looks the part, acts the part, can wrestle, all that stuff. Like, come on, let's start treating. Now, this is the thing that just drives me wild, right? Just keeps me up at night. How come Drew McIntyre, right, has to do these videos online for everybody, and Roman Reigns just waltzes in, and it's like they place people around him, they cater to him, they keep pushing him up for years on end after people like don't want to accept it and everything. You got a guy that's like, I think, much better actually than Roman Reigns right here.
Yeah, it's true, and that's exactly how it is. Like you said it. He has Paul Heyman. They put all these guys that can talk better around him, not necessarily wrestle better or anything like that. And they just put him out there like a model. And he does all his signature 5 moves of doom every single match, and then just walks off. It's the presentation with him. That's what's made him a thing. They finally figured that out. It's not him on the mic. It's not him necessarily wrestling. It's the presentation. It's the walk down the ring. It's the whole like fucking finger shit and acknowledge me, and that's what it is.
It's the Undertaker rub. The Undertaker rub. When the Undertaker left, Roman got all of that aura. He was allowed to just slowly walk the same way the Undertaker would. It'd take ages to get to the ring. He started doing some of those clotheslines that Taker would do, and that's when he changed his pacing and everything. And that's when the Samoan, the tribal chief, sort of like came to be. It was that Undertaker sort of like torch being passed, which Taker's fine doing. So we all have to just sort of like accept. But if you weren't a big Roman Reigns fan and you were a big Undertaker fan, then you're going to be a bit disappointed with with who gets to carry it on.
So it's the Undertaker's fault.
And a bit of the Rock. There's some Rock in Roman's modern approach. Like when he's strutting around the ring, when he's taking like 40, 50 minutes to have a match. He's auditioning. Yeah. He's been auditioning for Hollywood all this time since coming back and getting his big, stupid fake teeth. Or he can't stop smiling because it's just ding. And yeah, so many people do that. As soon as he got on telly. I mean, he held off longer than most, but yeah, ever since he's come back with a big set of fake teeth, it's like, yeah, you're auditioning for Hollywood. You're pulling faces all the time. You're trying to be The Rock.
He's preparing the long game. And that's, I mean, The Rock was doing it too. So, and a lot of them do.
As bad as Roman is with the acting, because I just don't buy the acting. Even the things that they've been setting up, you know, these big meetings. You know who's worse?
What do we want to talk about?
Way fucking worse.
His acting is horrendous.
Yeah.
So it's crazy to me that Sasha Reigns is right. Drew, I'll give you that. I'll give you that. You can make the argument that Drew is better than Seth. You can't say anybody's better than anybody. It's really objective and nobody's winning anything technically. But are they in all these other professional sports anyway? Probably not. But, you know, they got it backwards. Drew McIntyre is like the best guy that they have right now. Then Seth Rollins. Then who are the other ones we're talking about? Roman Reigns and
Kevin Owens.
Cody Rhodes.
Cody Rhodes.
in that order. But right now, it goes Cody, Roman, Seth, Drew in that order.
Yeah, but that's to the Dave Meltzers of the world and
No, that's the
people
way that WWE's portraying it, is what I'm saying.
Yeah. I should say in a corporate aspect, that's the list.
Yeah. So hopefully, we can fix this in this coming year, WWE. Let's flip that whole script around. I don't mind. Obviously, I'm not hating on Roman Reigns or Cody Rhodes, but they're at this point, if he's going to be doing all this tribal stuff in matches, keep him away from the belt. He already had it for 4 years in a row or whatever. And then you got Cody Rhodes, who already is just having a long run that everybody's already done with. Let's put them more in, not necessarily the mid-card scene, the top guy spot. Not top guy. They put them to the top guy spot and then move Seth Rollins and McIntyre right back up to the top. And the sleaze left. He couldn't take that take.
He did not like that. No. Oh, well.
He's like, fuck this. I'm out of here. He just left.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm concerned about I'm not that concerned, but I'm curious what's going to happen with Roman after he's finished with the bloodline stuff, because I don't know if there's going to be as much interest in Roman Reigns without the belt, not fighting the bloodline.
Yeah. But that's where I'm thinking they can extend that stuff very easily and keep that on the main event undercard, if you will.
I honestly think they were expecting to get a call from Hollywood much, much sooner. And I'm kind of surprised somebody didn't bite and give him something to do, but I think they were expecting like a big Hollywood role offered.
Why do I keep putting that up? Sorry. We just got to look at his bosom once again, that Drew McIntyre. Where'd you go, Sleaze?
You guys froze on me. It was
goodness.
crazy. I was talking to myself.
Wow. And then I saw McIntyre backstage and I had to put him back up. I thought he was waiting for us. He does watch. I've seen him. He watches the Dr. Huge show all the time. I shit you not. I do lie about a lot of things, but I don't lie about that. Or HBK blocking me.
So you guys missed my whole Drew McIntyre rant that I went on?
Oh, yeah, you just went on a rant?
Yeah. I was saying, since Sheamus is one of those characters now that's not in like a title picture or anything, is like a supporting guy, they should put Drew McIntyre into some kind of Gunther thing or even a Cody thing. He wins the belt, brings in Sheamus because they're buddies and they're great together. One or two other people, they form a faction, and they just run WWE like the Bloodline. They could even go against the Bloodline or whatever, but I think that would really put him up in the top guys.
It could work.
Yeah.
I tell you.
I think they're working towards something like that, I think.
Yeah. And they should, because we're smart and they listen.
They do. It's true. I'm telling you, Danny, did I ever tell you the story about how I talked about the New Day and Big E specifically coming out and putting a bunch of bootios, because this is around the time the bootios were big, putting a bunch of bootios in the spandex and pulling them out as he's coming out and like throwing them around, right? The very next night, or probably that night. I do the shows before the show goes on. He pulls out bootios out of his spandex.
Facts. It happened. And
that's just one of many. I could go on for days with that stuff.
You know what I believe, Doc? Because back in the day, before Seth Rollins started doing his laugh all the fucking time and all that shit, we used to make fun of his laugh, right? Yeah. So I really believe that we created, not the clothes, but we created this Seth Rollins.
Yep. We were the #1 fans of the laugh, the cackle, if you will.
Yeah. And now look.
Yep. It's blown up. You're welcome, Seth Rollins.
Yeah. We gave you a career.
One other thing I like about this whole Jey Uso, Drew McIntyre stuff that happened last night is this happened, like he got sneak attacked, but he was talking to Solo in the Bloodline 2 first. So there's interconnected stories This is what we wanted for years, Sleaze. This is what we've been talking about since 2015. Going, why aren't they they have all these people just hanging out and catering. Why aren't they doing things backstage? Why aren't they making sense of this stuff? And I would read that their writers would be like literally saying, I would read online and go, writing a 3-hour show is hard. Sure it is, but you got a dozen writers. You have all this money, disposable money that you can use, just like the other shows and everything else. You can't write a weekly show like this. It's so easy. With all the talent and all the people that you have, they are willing to do whatever you want to get camera time. How much? I'm telling you, they could send this right into WWE, just 3 guys. And they don't need a bunch of writers that have never seen wrestling in their lives. Why do they always hire creative writers that don't know anything about wrestling?
So that's the problem, I think, is why they get stuck. Is because it's like, how do we do 3 hours of this? If they don't understand it, they don't realize, like you said, there's a team of them. They've got a writing team, not just like a couple of writing staff. And then they've got all that talent backstage who would be willing to work with them, but they don't realize that. They don't see the inner workings of the industry.
Well, what they're doing now is they're taking a story and they're not doing it. Okay, this is Monday's 3 hours. This is next Monday's 3 hours or 2 hours or whatever. They're writing an entire story. And then they're saying, okay, so in January, this part of the story is going to happen. In February, this part of the story is going to happen. And then they have backups to when people get hurt. And that, like, they're finally just taking the entire year and making one huge story for each individual person or groups or anything like that. And they're just breaking it down instead of saying, okay, we're gonna start writing a story on Monday. And then we're gonna start writing the second part next Monday. They're planning this out way better, which is what we said years ago they needed to do.
Yeah.
It's just like the movies. Even everybody's, I've been hearing for years, I'm done with comic book movies, blah, blah, blah. I like comic book movies. I wish there were more of them, really, but I wish they were good. Having all these bad movies. And how are you not able to make a movie when there is quite literally millions, maybe a couple millions of storyboards just sitting there? All the stories, and you have your pick. You could go, which are the ones that everybody seems to like? Pick those stories, make them look the same, and do that. Like, because
they've done the opposite. They went where, like the Infinity Wars and all that shit. That was one big story, and they just put it into different shit. Now they've gone back to writing individual movies. That's the way I'm seeing it as I'm watching these movies come out. And they're doing it the same with Star Wars and several other, where they're not thinking like a grand story.
But even with
thinking, how can I do a better version of this?
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like, and then the self-inserts happen, and then the revisionist history happens. And watching Vince McMahon's product for decades has taught us all so much to be able to recognize this in what's happening with like Star Wars and Doctor Who and comics and video games. And because we've seen Vince do this, he infiltrated an industry, changed it to what he actually wanted it to be, and then he sold it to us, and we all just bought it every week and then asked for more, even though it tasted like shit. And so we've seen this before, we wrestling fans.
Yeah, several times.
But hey, Triple H, he gets it. He's putting it all. He's putting all the pieces together. Imagine if they had a Marvel MCU. I'm not even thinking about anything else. DCU's great, all this stuff. If it's actually DCU might be a little better as of late, but MCU has to imagine they had a whole universe that was just like the comics, that was gritty where it needed to be gritty. Everything wasn't hyper feminized except for the things that were feminine. Like the She-Hulk thing was just a total debacle. It was ridiculousness. Everybody talked about that. That was like, they put it over for being so stupid, but you don't have to go so crazy. We get it. It's the lead character is a female, but there are many action things where guys like characters that are females. That has happened in all the movies and all the shows and all the comics. Do what the comics did. Like, what the hell? It's right there. So
Because now you got these directors coming in with their own agendas, their own visions, like Danny said, and they're fucking it up. They're like, this is okay, you're gonna give me the source material, but I'm gonna put my little fucking twist, feminine bullshit, or whatever the fuck you want to put into it, and it just taints the whole thing. You can smell it throughout the whole production.
Well, I used to get in fights with Justin about this all the time. I got to get him back to fight with him about the movies, at least, because remember, he told me I was stupid because I said the Lady Ghostbusters was bad before I even saw it, and I knew it just from the trailer. But I knew, I'm hip to entertainment. I can watch a trailer and understand if I'm going to like this or not. And I saw that trailer, and I was, I grew up with the Ghostbusters. That was my shit when I was a kid.
Oh yeah,
and I saw this. It finally comes back before this afterlife stuff, and I was just like, yeah, no, not watching this. No. I know it's going to be stupid, and I heard it was, and I'm still right. I don't think I'm stupid for, I don't think I have to watch it first.
It was an entertaining movie, but it shouldn't have been a Ghostbusters movie. When you put that big franchise on top of something like that, that's a total experiment. Like, that's what ruined it, is the fact that you said, okay, these are Ghostbusters, and people like us are like, no, they're not.
One of my favorites was in one of the Terminators, I think, where they had that tomboy Terminator protecting the little Mexican girl. And within the first minute, they killed John Connor off. They just killed him. And then they go, here's a 5-foot lady. That's the new John Connor. I was like, wow, this is the shits already. It was crazy.
Yeah, I didn't see that one. I didn't see that far.
Yeah. I think I'm pretty sure it was the beginning of that movie.
It was Genesis, I think.
Yeah, is that what they called it?
Yeah, it was
the
shits.
Yeah, some Terminator that looked like Justin Bieber.
Oh, I didn't see that one, but I didn't want to.
Crazy.
I saw the trailer and was like, no, thank you.
Yeah.
I think Salvation. Yeah, Salvation was the last one I saw of Terminator, I think, and I enjoyed that actually.
Yeah, that one wasn't bad.
Yeah, that one was good, and everybody shit on that one. But then Genesis comes out, and everyone loved that, and I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Yep. Salvation was when Christian Bale went ape shit. I have those samples too, by the way. I haven't put them in yet, but I can always put them in with Angry Preacher and all our rest,
Motherfucker, you ain't coming in you come in the name of Satan.
Yep. We do. We do.
Half the directors in Hollywood come in the name of Satan.
Yeah. Butch is still out here screaming about being Butch. This was a very small segment in the show because R-Truth comes out there. He's still calling him Butch because he's stupid, right? What do you call him in the hood?
You fucking income fucking poop.
He's an income fucking poop. And then Butch comes out and just sneak attacks him right before the match. They don't even have the match. But that's something that happened. I just had to point that out before I forgot.
While screaming, I'm not Butch, I'm not Butch. And it's like, you're a pretty Butch fella, to be honest, lad. You're confusing us all now. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he kind of does look like a very ugly lady in a bathing suit.
Yeah. Unfortunately, yes.
Let's just call them the Priest Raiders at this point. Uncle Old School said the War Raiders name stunk the other night, too. So he's with you.
Yeah, he's smart. Yeah.
Doesn't like that. And they took on the Judgment Day, but they must stink worse, at least than the Priest Raiders, because they have new music, and they still lost with their new music.
Didn't help at all.
It's a good idea. I always tell, preteens and stuff, you're going to go fist fight in the park and whatnot. Good thing to do to your opponent is figure out what their favorite band is. Make sure that's playing while you're kicking the shit out of them.
Right. That's what I do. I bring my own music with me when I fight.
Yep. Then they can always think of, every time they listen to their favorite band, they'll think about that ass whipping they put on them. Yep. I always have great advice for the kids because I'm the Samoan werewolf.
And kids are stupid.
Yeah, they're pretty stupid. So sometimes you got to go beat them up yourself. If, in Bad Santa, when that kid was getting abused and by that very large 14-year-old. Sometimes you got to hold him up against the tree and give him a couple knuckle sandwiches.
Like in Billy Madison when they were playing dodgeball.
Mm-hmm.
You got to do that sometimes.
Yep. Only when it's justifiable. You know, you're sticking up for other little kids. It's okay to beat up, teenagers.
Or
really
if they look at you wrong. Or if they look at you wrong, because they should have respect for elders.
Yep.
You know.
And you know what? Teenagers are dumber than children, in my opinion.
Oh yeah,
too.
they're stupid. Yeah.
They're way dumber for some reason. I don't know how that works. Like you're smarter before you hit teenage years, and then you become really fucking stupid for like 4 or 5 years, and then you just wake up.
Yeah.
Because you're chasing trends, and you learn new words on the street or on the internet, and then you just you lose sounding accurate with what you're saying or sounding clever for just sounding what you think is cool.
Yeah.
So it's like you're intentionally making the wrong mistake. You intentionally like choosing the wrong thing just to choose the wrong thing because you're being rebellious.
Yeah. They're trying out the water, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Licking batteries, putting the fingers in sockets, and time for all the mistakes.
Yeah.
They don't know what they like or anything yet.
Well, exactly,
I got all these toys. I figured this out pretty early. I like toys. I like t-shirts. I like backwards hats. You see?
I like smoking. You know, I figured that out.
Figure it out early, kids. It's what's best for business. Let me tell you.
It's a PSA from us.
I like The Walking Dead. I'm sure many of you are probably too young to even know what that show is anymore.
Probably.
Which is wild to think about.
Yeah.
These 8-year-olds know nothing about The Walking Dead. They don't know shit about Halo 3. They don't know shit about Final Fantasy and stuff from back in the day. They don't know shit about that. Emulators. Can't emulate the past, bro.
Yeah. You don't know about 16-bit graphics.
Nothing about it. They get mini versions of them. Yeah.
Dial-up modems would ruin most of you. Having to wait for a dial-up modem to connect to the internet would ruin most of you.
Could you imagine this generation with dial-up modems? Oh my god!
I think it should be a year's mandatory service. If you want to be if you want to be allowed on the internet, you should have to use dial-up for a year to prove that you can be like patient and stuff.
That'll get Amazon a lot Prime. Of shitbags off the internet.
Yeah, not have Amazon Prime, so you've got to wait like 3, 4, maybe 5 days for something to get delivered. And it's just like, you all take advantage of the internet too much without appreciating it. Dial up internet for a year.
God forbid you have to get in your car or walk to go buy something. Holy shit.
Dial up those. How about the websites coming down? Tick, 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 and you just sit there like just waiting for just to see the home page of a site that you were trying to go to. It's crazy.
Well, God forbid you want to watch a video because it buffer for like an hour and a half.
Yeah. Or somebody picks up the telephone and just kicks you right off the internet.
Yep.
Oh, that was the best.
My sister almost died 3 times from that.
He's in the middle of, hacking into the FBI, the sleaze, and his sister picks up the phone. And he's like, "You ruined it."
I was there.
Here's some crazy stuff. And the thing is, these people, these generations, the younger generations, everyone that passes gets a little weirder, And now what's going on? The marks are going to Britt Baker's dentist office to the point where it's like she's got to do something. It's like a problem, apparently, because all the marks
really? They're turning up to a workplace. I've not heard this.
Yes.
For fuck's sake, you sad little wankers, behave.
Yeah.
Behave. Have a cold shower. Behave.
They're fucking creepy as shit.
If you all start getting slapped in the face, then it's on you. Just Jesus Christ.
This is like generation cringe.
Yeah, I've not heard that.
From now on.
Yeah, they really just have no. They treat the outside world as if it's a living room.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. And that's just not what you're supposed to do. As soon as you leave your humble abode where you are, you can't be going out there into the real world and treating it as if you're in your apartment or house or whatever. It's not. You're in the public with everybody else. And guess what? Not everybody likes you sneezing into the fucking air and touching everything after you're rubbing your face and doing all the things you think are normal at your home. You're not supposed to. And I'm telling you, this is a post lockdown thing to me, because the world, like everybody's gotten way dumber after that. There's a handful of people out there that seem to be more pleasant. I'm one of those, because I'm mindful. I understand what's going on. I am considerate of other people and what they may deem correct, and polite. I'm not just out here kicking up my feet and shit, jumping on fast food tables. I understand that other people have lives and they have other things going on, and maybe not all these mistakes or things that happen to you in your life are just everybody's fault out here. Maybe some of them are your own fucking fault. So be patient, wait, stop being an asshole. And that's my public service announcement for everybody, especially the kids, because your parents must be around my age and they are dumb as fuck. Holy shit, your kids are really bad these days. Check them, people.
I don't blame us. Yeah. We're Gen X. I don't blame us. I blame the millennials. Those are those fuckers' kids,
Mm-hmm.
Are you a millennial? No, you're Gen X.
Yes, I'm the oldest millennial, technically.
No, you're Gen X then. Fuck that shit.
Well, I mean, yeah. There's literally they say that people, I don't think any kid in the 80s is really a millennial, if you want to call it that.
I don't believe that. No.
I would give the cutoff like 1990. Like if you had internet as a little kid, how are you a millennial to me? If I am, because I grew up with records and tapes first.
Me too.
If you got teased for using the internet and computers and video games, Gen X. If it was cool and trendy to do it and nobody gave you any shit for it, millennial. That's the
way I'm looking at it from now on. Yeah. That is fucking fantastic.
Technically, I was a millennial then because I played a shitload of video games as a kid, and it was okay.
And but then you go to school and people be like, look at you sitting on your own in your bedroom playing on computer games. I'd be like, hey, it's all right. I'm doing all right. I haven't turned crazy. It's fine.
Yeah. I had a pretty healthy balance growing up. I was a jock and a nerd simultaneously.
Yeah, me too.
So it worked out. I like that, because if I ever picked one or the other, then I probably would have been harassed by somebody out here.
Right. So you're Gen X. Fuck that.
Okay. Thank you. I've been deemed Gen X, which seems to be the cool thing right now, but they also are running the world right now.
Yeah. Well, yeah. No, those fucking boomers are still there.
No, those boomers. Let me tell you. I'll tell you that I think the boomers are the last. They're the last adults, like the last true adults, like professionals.
Yeah. Right.
I don't think Gen X's are generally not professional. Millennials definitely aren't. And it just, like I said, it's going to get worse from there, Yeah. But really, what's being professional anyway? It's kind of just being as phony as possible.
Yeah.
So when I hear them stories about guys, they're like, this guy was sexually doing this and that. It's like, if it's not like sexual assault, I don't really fucking want to hear about it. If it's words, get over it.
Yeah.
And, he wasn't professional enough and he said this about my butt or my legs or the way I dress. Fucking get over it. You're out here. You know what I mean?
Stop showing your butt and legs off.
Exactly. Stop having butt and legs then.
Right.
Saw them off. Yeah. Call that ass off.
Make yourself a little bit unattractive. Come on.
Yep. So much wisdom we're putting on the audience tonight. Just blessing everybody. So make sure you're liking and you're subscribing. If not, you don't want to get some of this. You don't want a fresh one, do you?
Yeah.
Don't make me take my belt off. Used to hear that an awful lot back in my day.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not in the good way either.
No.
worst way possible.
Yeah, you cried. Please, Dad, no.
You're going like this. Just like Jason Voorhees. And where are they? I'm looking for them. Did I get rid of them? No, they did.
No, I don't.
There they are. Damn it. So scary, so terrifying.
Again, not going to be able to sleep. Terrifying.
You know, I didn't last night. I put some eyedroppers in and played games all night so Edge couldn't come in my dreams and take me to the boiler room. So I did all last night. Yeah.
I'm in New Hampshire. There's a lot of woods, and I didn't even leave the house today.
New Hampshire?
Yeah.
Where's that? That's where people usually say to me. Where the hell is that? New Hampshire's like this big. And you're like, I'm from I'll go to my other place where it's this big. Like, where's that?
Yeah.
Mafioso states.
Yeah.
I'm in a big one myself. Taxachusetts. They love, I'm telling you, the way that they tax in this fucking state here, we should have had about a dozen revolutionary wars already at this point. But there should be tea in the ocean. There should be all kinds of prime bottles in the ocean. Fucking we should be going nuts about all that. But no, we're gonna go nuts about everything else. Right.
We're just all paying taxes to Boston. That's what we're doing.
Right. Fucking the taxes are crazy. They want more than a half of everything. They're like Negan.
Yeah.
Half is what I say it is.
Yeah. Negan-chusetts.
Yep. Formerly Massachusetts. First gay state.
Massholes. Yep.
We got it all.
And I got news for you.
Yes, Ice-T.
That means you're gay.
No. Thank you. There's a few more things that happened last night. Do you have time to go over this stuff? I know it's New Year's Eve and we got pop bottles and go to the strip clubs and all this stuff.
Before you get into any of the heavier ones, did you notice the little record they put up on the screen about attendance? I did make a note of it, which I felt was just rubbing in Tony Khan's face. Raw was the 44th TV event sellout, straight, I think, and it was the 66th event sellout. So they're just continuing to sell out everything whilst putting the prices up at a disgusting rate, but people are still just lining up to get assaulted financially. And Tony Khan can't fill little venues.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, it was like 15,000 people at the last Raw, right? Last night?
Yeah.
That was more than like the last 4 shows that AEW had. Just think of that. And their competition.
Man. How did they mess up CM Punk that easily? Just because you couldn't get a grip on your EVPs and all these other douchebag wrestlers that you got over there. Really? I know CM Punk's probably not the easiest guy to work with or whatever, but they couldn't give any respect to the guy as far as he was doing this before us at a very high level and making a lot of money. Maybe we would like to get that money too. Like, how stupid are you guys?
Yeah.
Very.
Very.
That's just, it was ego. It was pure ego. They just saw someone doing better than them, saw someone lifting their promotion up and doing what they said they were going to do, and they just couldn't handle that. And the cock shriveled up, and they just spat the dummy out, and just that's how they acted. And now look at them; they're struggling to get like 500K, I think, on a weekly basis now.
Yeah, they're a bunch of fucking children over there. They have nobody to say no, shut the fuck up, just do your job, and that's it.
And that would have been me if I was Tony Khan and I brought in a CM Punk. Listen, these other guys, I don't care how good you think they are, the Kenny Omega's, the Bucks, or this or that. None of them are a CM Punk and are going to bring eyes to your promotion like that. No. They're lucky they had him for as long as they had him. But to mess that up with Jungle Boy and who else? Like a bunch of these other Jabron Malones? Like
That was the fucking Young Bucks and like nobodies.
Colt
I would
Cabana.
literally package them up if CM Punk was on WWE, and if they wanted to make a trade, I would trade all them motherfuckers to WWE for one old ass CM Punk that would probably hurt my Bronson Reed. You know,
And himself.
I would still do it. So
when they brought him in, he literally brought up numbers. Like one person. And you're gonna jeopardize that for a fucking Jack Perry.
I watched Rampage. I even watched Rampage that night.
Me too. Yeah.
Kenny Omega was never going to make me watch Rampage.
No.
Dean Ambrose, Sasha Reigns, or Sasha Banks. None of them. But CM Punk did. And wow. Like I said, I can't believe they fumbled that. If there's a fumble, all the kids talk about fumbling this and fumbling that. Those aren't fumbles. They want to let the ball go most of the time on purpose. The real fumble is a CM Punk. You had him, and he ended up fighting with half your roster and went to WWE or competition. Supposedly,
well, the best part is they put him in charge of what, Collision or Rampage, one of the shows.
Collision.
Yeah, so literally they were like, okay, so he's in charge because he's successful. He's CM Punk. We're going to put him in charge. And then Jack Perry starts pushing back. That's when Tony Khan should have came in and said, listen, he's in charge. Whatever he says, that's it. If you fuck up, then you're gone. It could have been easy. CM Punk would still be there, and their numbers would be higher. It's just stupid.
So stupid. Tony Khan, you got a lot to fix over there. And it's really, we've talked about it before, it's fixing by stopping certain things. Just stop doing certain things.
Right.
Or else the Samoan werewolf is coming. You know, shake his hair.
He was so delusional that after he goes on and says, oh my God, I feared for my life and all this shit, where CM Punk was just simply going to him being like, hey, be a boss, please. Like, go and take care of this. He never did anything to fucking make him come out and say that shit.
Don't make him adult. That's too much responsibility. He just wants to play with his toys.
I would love to get Tony Khan on sometime. I'm going to try to work on it.
He's just going to sit there the whole time and go.
Well, the thing is, I think every show he's been on, people kiss his ass, you know? And of course, I don't plan on doing that. No. He ain't paying me. I mean, if he wants to give me 50 grand, right, out of his pocket, right there, just go, here you go. You know, maybe that'll be a little kinder. But
no,
and not like I'll be mean, but I'm objective.
I would take the money and still talk shit.
Wow. And then he'd probably spit in his face too.
I'd probably smack him around.
Yeah. Shove him in a locker upside down.
Grab him by his hair and just move his head around.
Yep. Maybe some swirlies.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe that will make him listen, I'm guessing. Yeah, some noogies and wet willies and
fucking
wedgies. Big wedgies. Charlotte Flair style wedgies.
Oh yeah.
Atomic. Those are bigger than atomic wedgies. She would do that to all the girls back in the day. The Alexa Blisses. She's like, oh, they think you're a top girl now? They're gonna put you with me? Here, wedgie.
Wedgie.
Put it right up to their neck.
Yep.
Actually, hey, that's why I miss Charlotte the most. I kind of forgot about that. She was the ultimate wedgie giver. Some of these girls, they don't like to come out. They come out there in shorts and everything. She's like, nope. They come out in sweatpants. She's like, nope, it's all up your ass now.
You're deep in your ass.
She gives front wedgies. She doesn't care.
Yeah.
Yep.
Hip wedgies, everything.
Camel toes. Yeah. But yeah, I think we've said it all tonight. Might have run out of things to talk about here. So I'm going to save the rest of my stuff for another day, possibly tomorrow. You never know, 7 p.m. Get liking and subscribing and sharing, everybody out there. Go to YouTube. I need watch time on YouTube so we can monetize. Nobody's going to YouTube and liking. Go there now. Go there as soon as we finish. If you want more expert analyst, journalist business with me, Danny, the sleaze here. Coming back Saturday is a definite 2 p.m. So come check that out. the wrestling expert panel. And you never know who will show up on that show. It could be anybody. Sasha Reigns has shown up, Hansy from the Howard Stern show. And I'm in talks with people. We got many more on the way. So thank you for coming on tonight on this New Year's Eve, boys.
Thank you very much. It's been
Oh,
fun.
thank you for having us.
Any plugs? Do your plugs.
DannyDamage.co.uk or Twitter @BluntDamage. Everything's on there. Wrestling, comics, films, TV, the usual.
The huge. How about you, Sleaze?
I just opened a TikTok. I think it's at the SLZ52. I haven't put shit on there. But I'm going to start. I'm also on Instagram. Just started the Facebook up again. What else? X. Higher Love Creations does all my promoting and the beautiful pictures like Freddy versus Jason.
Here we go. Let's give it one more look. Let's give a few of these a look because they might be going away soon. We got Cody here.
What do we want to talk about?
We got the Freddy vs. Jason, the scariest of them all.
Oh, God.
Wow.
Wow.
Meltzer, his 5-star Meltzers with us. Just the tongue cut off
Just
the
the
eyes.
tongue. Yeah.
Yeah, I think we'll finish on that. That's a good note to finish on right there with Dave Meltzer's tongue out.
Yes,
all right, everybody.
perfect.
Thank you for watching. Salute to you all at home and on your phones. Once again, get on YouTube, subscribe, get your notifications, hit the like button, do all that stuff. Thank you. Have a good night. Goodbye. Hold on. Look at this real quick and then goodbye.
Happy New Year.
Titillate the juices. You know what? Woo! Right now. Woo! Woo!
Dr. Hughes invites followers. Oh, let's see if they increase now. Me too. Yeah, wow. Dr. Hughes.
Mock-ass mock.
He's a great podcaster.
Trick-ass mock. Acknowledge me.
We coming for you, nigga. Fat!
Yeah, Dr. Hughes, here we go. Keep plugging yourself, that's cool.
You fucking mark!
First up, a man whose looks will serve your inner needs and desires.
Dr. Hughes.
And I got news for you.